So it is Friday, and I have already wrapped up my work for my day job, been done for about 15 minutes or so, and I'm getting ready for the next job that I get to go to on Fridays, which, if you watched any of the really, really old stuff, you maybe have heard me reference that my wife and I own a business, and on every Friday night for the last 5+ years, we have been going in and making pizzas, and I've been delivering pizzas, and I figured, hey, we're getting to know each other. You should come along with me. Probably just going to be in the truck, you and me, most of the time. Might see some stuff from in the store, but for the most part, we're going to be in the zone when we're there. So no real plan. This is going to be one of my first few attempts at vlogging, so we'll see how it goes. And if nothing else, maybe you guys will get some entertainment out of my evening. So, I suppose I should probably explain how we ended up with this place.
Take the next left onto Maple Drive, then turn left onto North Hickory Boulevard.
In between the navigation. Like 5.5 years ago, my wife and I lived in Evansville, Indiana, where we met in college. I'm originally from there, and we were looking for an investment opportunity. So we looked at a few properties, didn't find anything awesome, and her dad called us one day telling us that there was a Bread Pizza franchise in the Des Moines area.
Turn left onto Copper Creek Drive, then turn right onto East University Avenue.
He said, if you guys are interested, here's the price. You should probably get up here by this weekend and see it. And I think he called on a Thursday. So the next day after I got off work, we loaded up the vehicles and drove like 500+ miles up to Iowa to possibly make one of the biggest decisions of our lives. And it was kind of funny at the time because I'd been listening to a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk's stuff and trying to find opportunities to maybe start a business or start freelancing as a video editor and grow that into its own business. And it was really one of those instances where it's like, okay, here's what you've been listening to, here's what you've been saying you believe, here's your opportunity, what are you going to do about it? And anybody who really knows me knows that I was through the roof with anxiety about all the unknowns of the situation and how we would do this and how we would even move up here. We weren't ready to sell our home in Indiana. We weren't planning on doing this. But of course, after being up here for 2 days, looking at the place, looking at the opportunities, talking with our family, we decided that this was what we were going to do. We were going to move to Iowa. So, after that weekend, I went back home and started just doing copious amounts of research on the Des Moines area, figuring out, okay, are there video production houses in town? Are there agencies in town? Where can I work as a shooter or an editor or both? I got my resume ready. I blanket applied to a whole bunch of places. And out of the blue, I got this email from the company that I currently work for. And, I'm going to back up here and tell you a little bit something personal about me. I believe in God. I'm a Christian. I live my life according to my faith and what I believe, and try to be as kind and generous and just try and pay attention to the way Jesus lived his life on this planet as much as I can and emulate that. And part of that is just believing in providence in my life. And I truly think when I got the email that it was providence in my life, because there wasn't even a job posted. I found this out after the fact. There was a need that was coming, and I apparently sent my email at just the right time, and it worked out. And it's been a fabulous place to work. So we got one thing sorted out, and then we had to figure out the house. And for the first almost 8 months that we moved up here, we moved back in with my wife's parents, which was a little tough, at like 27 years old. I got up every day at about 5:30, had to get ready, left the house by about 6:30, a little before that, drove the hour and 10 minutes away from their house to where I currently work one way, then would get off work, come to the restaurant, usually deliver pizzas for a couple hours, and then head home. So I would start my day most days at around 5:30, and back then on the weekends we didn't close until 10, so I usually wouldn't get home until after 11. And we did that for like 8 months, and it was intense, and it was a grind, and all the while trying to market and grow sales for business and find employees and learn a new job. And in the middle of that, we found a house about 5 minutes away from the restaurant. And it was, to say it was a fixer-upper would be a very large understatement. We basically needed to gut the house. And I'm so thankful to my father-in-law and all of my in-laws really that pitched in on that project. But we took over that house, I think, in March and spent about 30 days just taking it to studs and reworking that house, and redid the bathroom, took out a chimney, did all kinds of crazy stuff, got it in a way better place to suit us. And in the midst of that renovation, we found out my wife was pregnant. Scared. I was nervous. Our life was insane at the time. I had no idea how I was going to figure this out. And then here comes this new baby into the mix. And again, I think it was just providence in our lives that saw us through. I thank God for all of that time in our lives, really for every day in our lives, even now. But man, did he carry us through some craziness. And my son was born that fall, and changed our lives completely. He's amazing. You guys have probably seen shots of him on this channel before, and you'll probably see shots of him on it again. He's an awesome little guy. He's 4 years old now, and he's my best friend. Fast forward to today, we've gone through several cycles of staff, and several cycles of marketing, and several cycles of just the calendar year with this business, and still trying to figure a lot of things out. But every day we make a little bit of progress on something. And, when you add a bunch of days up, those little bits of progress become big pieces of progress. It's really crazy looking back to see how much everything has changed. Every time I think about that, it makes me almost excited and a little nervous to think about what I'm going to be saying, 5.5 years from now.